And have been through in the 2 test matches to date, but have they turned the corner with this imaginative selection by the men who were in charge of choosing the team for this game at Trent Bridge? Well, this is what they came up with. These are the teams announced by the 2 skippers. Into the England side come Mark Lathwell, then there's Nasser Hussain, Graham Thorpe, there's Peter Such, who did so well and made his own debut at Old Trafford. Martin McCaig is in, and also the left-arm paceman from Essex, Mark Eilert. The Australians have made just the 1 change. Brendan Julian comes in. It's an enforced change because Craig McDermott has to fly back to Australia after the operation, but they will be, once again, a very strong side. The 2 captains seem to have similar ideas about the winning of the toss here. It went Graham Gooch's way.
With that.
Graham, good morning. You won the toss?
Yes.
Batting first?
Yes.
Well, a lot of speculation about this pitch. Do you see anything unusual about it?
Well, certainly the atmosphere is a bit cloudy, and it's a little bit green, but I think it basically looks a reasonable pitch, so we're going to bat.
Yeah, it looks a very good test wicket. I think all the speculation about the grass and you know, a seeming sort of wicket, a little bit overdone, although we hope it does a little bit this morning. We've seen that we're bowling first, but no, to me it looks like it's going to be a good test wicket.
A new opening partnership for England, Mark Lathwell and Michael Atherton, and that breaks up one of the most successful opening partnerships ever to take the field for England in Test match cricket. Graham Gooch and Michael Atherton, who 14 times have gone past 50 in partnership and 7 times have taken it on past the 100 mark. But we join play now in the 2nd over of the morning. 5 runs are on the board. Brendan Julian is the bowler and Mark Lathwell is taking strike. That'll be forward to Lathwell. We've been told about. Lathwell's favourite shot, way through cover point.
He's an uncomplicated sort of a player. He doesn't put the left foot a long way across.
Might just have been a little bit high. There's no shortage of enthusiasm out there. Much bounce.
Certainly pitched just about on, but I would agree there with Richard, that was probably slightly high.
Well, that's an interesting stroke. First time Merv Hughes has tested him.
Yes, and that was the perfect reply. Flipping it away to square leg.
Get a couple there. Tim May was the fielder.
Oh, that's a good delivery, and yes, he's giving him out there. That did bounce a little, move away from him, and, well, Lathwell's gone. Merv Hughes has bowled a couple of deliveries like that have moved away off the seam. And that one, slightly extra bounce, and a straightforward catch for Healy, the wicketkeeper.
Well, it's been a promising innings, but really would have desperately liked to have gone further. And there, not much foot movement at all. So the end of Lathwell, 28 for 1. New batsman Robin Smith. Just when it looked as though England were getting off to a reasonable start. And then Merv Hughes does it again. That's the sort of way he takes them on. Now Hughes will look, Hughes will speak with his eyes, but he still spoke, and the umpire, well, it's 4.
Well, I think that was very thoughtful bowling by Merv. Terrific short ball straight away to the batsman. I mean, Robin Smith had to fetch that ball from outside off stump.
Again, Smith getting forward. Julian very disappointed, but Smith did get what looked to be a reasonable stride in.
Yes, I think it's the stride that saved him a bit. A first stride there, half a stride. It looks as if he's got right forward. I don't think he got that far. I think his studs got caught a bit. You see, that's just a sort of half stride. That's not Robin Smith at his best.
That's two that Julian has brought back into the right-hander. That's his great strength. And that's Robin Smith's great strength. Determined to get on with it. Now into double figures. He's only dealing in fours so far, 3 of them.
Yeah, it's a cracking shot, but poor delivery really on this sort of surface. Look, it's a half volley, wide half volley, but it's right up there. This is inexperience by the bowler.
That'll bring the 50 up. Five fours for Robin Smith.
Lovely shot again, very full length. Good stride by Robin Smith, and plays it beautifully.
Graham Gooch won the toss, and there must have been some sort of doubt as to what he would have done, but he settled for batting, and well, if he can get through to lunch with no further damage, then it should be a good start for England. I don't see a much better square cut than that.
Well, this was lovely timing by Michael Atherton. He waited for the ball to turn. Nice pace, his pitch, waited for it to turn, and then just cuffed it with his right hand. It nearly got too far away from him, actually.
Another crashing shot from Robin Smith on the offside. Brendan Julian needed to bowl the ball that went straight on and went across Robin Smith, but it was just short and gave him that room, and he plays the square cut so powerfully. Oh, well bowled. Such an indeterminate shot from Michael Atherton.
You see, Julian's showing there is something there, some movement there for the seamers. He hasn't quite the accuracy to keep the pressure on ball after ball, and that's what you've got to do on this type of pitch.
And the severe test now for Robin Smith, who is 29 not out. And the great ironic cheer is for Smith, who actually landed the middle of the bat on the ball. That's where you need to bowl, and there's a big shout, and it's being given out. That's the flight. Drags the batsman forward. Michael Atherton goes. Success for Shane Warne, and England are 63 for 2.
Well, I don't think Atherton looked too pleased about that. Well, it certainly pad first, but then did it go onto the back of the bat or something towards the mid-off? Very confident appeal, but that's nothing to go by these days.
77 minutes, 49 balls, 2 fours. Alex Stewart is the new batsman. It's much more the position he would like to bat. Well, I'm not sure he wasn't coming down the wicket anyway, but it turned happily into a full toss, and it's what we've been saying right throughout. Once England can establish some attacking grip on this leg spin bowling. Until then, they can't dictate.
That's a good shot. If anything, Warren has been a little bit short in the overs he's bowled today. And on a slow green seamer of this kind, you can't afford to be in position of being cut or pulled. That's well bowled by Hughes. There's nothing in the pitch, and yet he's still able to have Robin Smith pushing defensively there and getting the ball away over and wide of third slip.
Smith was a little fortunate here that he was on the way up as he was playing the ball. The ball, I think, bounced a bit higher than what he expected, and because he was on the way up, it caught the shoulder of the bat, and that helped to push it over the top of the slips.
Shot. Much more authentic stroke. Brendan Julian, the fielder, that's one of the reasons he's in the side. He's an outstanding fielder with a strong throwing arm. And there's a good reply.
Just a little bit of movement off the seam there, and he just found a bit of a gap.
That's 50 for Robin Smith. 21st half-century in Test cricket. On the verge of being dropped, made 191 against the Australians in the county game, and is back into the half-century here. 96 for 2, the men out Lathwell, who played some quite good shots there in his 20. Michael Atherton out for 11. Interesting dismissal, Atherton's. Umpire Barry Mayer had to make up his mind if in this front-on shot the ball has hit the pad and then gone onto the bat. That is difficult. Side on, it looks as though the ball has got past the bat. It may have hit the pad, then come back and hit the edge of the bat and flown to Boone. That's very difficult. Atherton certainly looked surprised, and he may well have been just a trifle unlucky. 1 for 28 for Hughes, none for 40 for Julian, and Warren 1 for 21. We join play after the luncheon intervals. The second over, 3 runs have been added, and May is bowling to Stewart.
That's 100. Good rate of scoring, over 3 and over. Oh, he meant that. This is an altogether different Robin Smith. It's a different pitch, different circumstances, and it has to be said, a different approach.
Well, he's now after the bowling. He's down the pitch almost as it left in May's hand. And that's because his confidence is high with having a half-century of runs behind his name.
That was a better shot. Top hand made that because that was one he could easily have clubbed straight to extra cover. Just let the top hand lead it wide of him. 21 runs have rattled up in, what, just 10 minutes since lunch. That is a beautifully placed shot. You will not see anything better than that for footwork.
Yes, lovely footwork down the pitch and just clips it into the gap.
Alex Stewart. And this will be interesting now to see how Australia respond to this, because it's the first time England have batted first in this series and therefore haven't had the problem of chasing a total. And shots like that, it's just brilliance now. And don't this crowd love it?
Well, before lunch, Brendan Julian was a bowler, just bowling the right slot for Robin Smith, and he's carried on. He's bowling it much too straight, so when it just offers to swing, it doesn't really swing much, just offered to just drift in, it drifts right into his legs, and he just clips it away beautifully.
.15-4 and hit just as hard as most of the others.
Well, it was a terrific shot. He's actually moving forward before the ball gets there. Look, he's off, he's even waiting for it. He's so confident and positive now. I think in his mind he really thinks that he can belt Brendan Julian out of the attack.
That's 4 more. Too short, and the bowlers will play all the time on this pitch.
Well, Alex Stewart will feel better for that, but to be fair to Shane Warne, he hasn't bowled many bad deliveries in this series so far, and for a leg spinner he's been amazingly accurate.
Upset at that, Stewart. That spun a long way. It was what did him. And Warner's got through again. The over-the-wrist spinner, the big spinner, can do that sort of thing. Batsmen's eyes light up when they see something a bit offline, a little bit short, and they give it some tremendous hammer. But the extra spin, the width of the spin, and a bit of extra bounce or a little bit of extra pace does the trick.
Yes, it's easy. You have to go a long way across there to hit that ball out and keep it down. Alex Stewart with his feet more or less on off stump and the ball almost on the return crease at the finish. That's a long way to have to go across.
Graham Gooch is the new man. This is a completely different situation for Gooch. He didn't open today. For some reason, everyone says that Blackwell has to bat at number 1 in the lineup. Therefore, the Atherton-Gooch opening partnership that's been so successful had to be broken. Might have got a bit of an edge on that. The shout was half going up, although over his left arm over the wicket, hit him very full length. Ooh, must have been an inside edge, otherwise the shout would have continued. The umpire might even have been shouting. Gooch is off the mark. And with a nice stroke away down the ground for 4.
Gooch repeating shot similar to Robin Smith, not quite as powerful.
Oh, well, what do you think of that? That is the mark of a very, very good young cricketer. He's a brilliant fielder. He's already shown that with picking up, chasing and throwing, and that is one of the more brilliant catches you will ever see.
Yeah, we saw 2 magnificent cotton balls up at Old Trafford, but I think that was probably even better than those 2. It really was in his full throttle, pulling away. You can see him gone back full length there. Well, absolutely superb. Magnificent athlete to take a catch like that.
standing ovation for Robin Smith. New batsman is Graham Thorpe. The game has turned around. The pitch is very much in favour of batting. It's 158 for 4 now. Graham Thorpe comes out to join Graham Gooch. And this is the catch from another angle.
Oh. Well, there's a saying that catchers win matches. You'll never see a better example than that. He was going away to his right, and he caught that on the other side of the wickets. Brilliant.
It's 159 for 4. Here's Warne. And there's 4. I pointed out earlier that the only times Warne has got himself into trouble has been when he's pitched short.
Yes, Gooch got in a great position there, and the ball didn't spin as much as one that Alex Stewart got out to, so he was able to play it with almost a straight bat, and you get right on top of it then.
Sharp. Beautiful square drive. Lovely turn of the wrist there. It's quite deliberately placed precisely into that section.
Yes, that wasn't a full half volley. Nothing really wrong with the delivery. It was angled across, and Gooch on the up.
Oh, lovely stop, and Thorpe is off, hoping for a first run in Test cricket, but not as easy as that, I'm afraid. Beautifully stopped at cover.
Well, it was a cracking shot. I'm not surprised he wanted to get off the mark. He wanted a single, but there is an old adage, don't run for a misfield unless there's 2.
And that's it. He feels a lot better now. Off he goes. So Graham Thorpe's off the mark in Test cricket with 3 runs to deep backward square leg. It's in the air. Caught it. Steve Ward, the gully. That's Merv Hughes at his best. Apparently plain and innocuous for a few balls, and suddenly whipped it in short, asked the batsman an entirely different question, and unfortunately for Graham Thorpe, he just didn't have the answer.
He got Thorpe playing high. He's quite a small young batsman, and he couldn't keep it down. He couldn't get above it. He gets this extra bounce, extra height, through banging it in, but it's surprise more than anything. There it is, banged in, gets up, he played it poorly, he never got up above the ball. And a lovely catch.
This is Nasser Hussain, who has been recalled to the England side. Now we face a strange prospect of having, should Hussain be removed quickly, of having Graham Gooch stranded with a tail.
Heaven forbid. Quality shot that from Graham Gooch. I mentioned earlier in the day that I thought Alex Stewart and Graham Gooch could pick the leg spinner as well, if not better than most of the England batsmen. He waits for this. He's got confidence enough to know what it's doing, and in his own ability, that he waits for it. Doesn't rush the shot and picks the gap.
Top edge, but that's safe. Running away. Steve Ward's chasing. Went quite quickly there. And they take 3.
Well, he didn't mean it to go here. He was trying to hit it square again. I think he tried to hit it a bit too hard and a bit too square.
Superb shot by Graham Gooch. That wonderful combination of an ease of movement and a power in the wrists and strength in the back. Great shot. A lot of style about that from Nasser Hussain. A very confident move forward there. He's just 2 not out, and suddenly he sees it and plays it very naturally.
Well, certainly a lot of confidence. That ball was wide. One of his favourite shots. He likes width.
Hughes to Gooch, 195 for 5. Gooch is 24. Oh, yes.
Well, it's been a lovely pace pitch for when the ball's been pitched up. All the batsmen today have driven the ball off the front foot very well. Well, it's the first ball that Nasser Hussain has had from the leg spinner around the wicket. I think he changed his mind here. See, the left foot goes there, and then it changes position.
Hughes now to Gooch. And another lovely cover drive. Gooch's 7th 4. Like Smith, that's mostly the currency he's dealing in. England's 200 up. Well, that was a very uneasy looking stroke, but it's still gone for 3 or 2 no. Gooch says no, but that was uppish.
Boone at short leg here keeps his eye on the ball. You could see the hand go out, and he wasn't a long way from it.
3 more runs added to take it up to 209 for 5 at tea. Robin Smith 86 top scoring there, and Gooch is unbeaten on 35. The bowling figures: Hughes has 2 for 49, Julian 1 for 69, 2 for 53 for Warne, who's bowled well once again, and Steve Waugh has bowled 2 overs and 2 maidens. We join it now in the 3rd over after tea. 5 runs have been added. It is Steve Waugh bowling, and taking strike is Nasser Hussain. Good shot, that's pierced the field. Warne is the fielder. There's a lovely stroke from Nasser Hussain. He's very strong on the offside. Good square driver. Good cutter on a pitch that's a bit faster.
Perfectly played this. Foot to the ball, waited for it, timed it well. Weight going forward right into the shot.
Oh, and Gooch has gone. Alan Border comes in, and Hughes has done it again. On a pitch where there is no bounce and no pace, he's had Gooch playing, well, perhaps just a little bit too early, and off a leading edge it has flown out on the offside for Border to take the catch. 38 to Gooch, 81 balls faced, and England now 220 for 6.
Well, it's caused problems all day, as Merv Hughes, with his short balls. The ball's getting up there, the batsman getting there too soon. Graham Gooch turning this ball to leg, and he actually gets it with a leading edge.
New batsman coming out is Andrew Caddick. Number 8 for England. Outside edge there for Nasser Hussain.
There's a little bit of good fortune here. There's no third man. Flies off the thick outside edge.
Steve Waugh to Hussain.
Shane Warne is the fielder down there. What the umpire has to decide is the fielder in contact with the ball when he touched that rope or went over it, and I would say yes.
Fine shot. The off-spinner went straight on, but Nasser Hussain waited and waited and then played a beautifully timed shot square on the offside. Very confident appeal for LBW by Shane Warne, turned down by umpire Palmer.
Yes, that was always missing leg stump.
Well, we think he played a shot at it. We'll soon know. In fact, bye is given. No deflection off any pad. How close was that?
Well, it spun a lot here from very wide of leg stump. I mean, you'd be amazed to actually miss it. I think I missed the stumps by quite a lot. It probably looks as if it's just missing off stump, but I think that missed by a few inches.
Now, bat pad man turned his back there on a defensive push.
Yes, I think Mark Wall thought that at first that Nasser Hussain was going to shape to drive it. The bat comes up and then it defends.
Two little appeals from Shane Warne, or rather one big one followed by one nearly as large, because he's diddled him again.
Yes, I thought this turned back, but I thought it did too much, actually.
That's beautifully bowled. Classic stuff.
Wonderful delivery was this. A little bit more flight. Threw him forward. That went up and down and spun from outside leg stump.
Now then. Such entertainment with a back of the hand bowler when he's on song.
Ian Healy was appealing for a leg before wicket, but the ball didn't come back enough. It looked like a top spinner running ball.
Well, that is wonderful piece of bowling again on the first day of a test match. Tim May showed at Lord's that he really does give it a tweak. Lovely shot. Well, we've said how well Nasser Hussain can play spin bowling, and also he tends to play with an open face, and this helps this sort of shot.
Well, he likes to play inside out. That's from straight towards the covers.
That's a cracker. It was just marginally short. That was a beautiful stroke.
That's the shot of a batsman with plenty of skill. It wasn't really a cut shot, it was a forcing shot off the back foot, and it went with great power. Terrific shot.
And it's well run by Caddick.
It's Caddick's job to just get singles and give plenty of strike to Nasser Hussain.
Shot.
Getting down on the ball. Ball carried in the air, but he didn't have to worry too much about that because David Boone is only a couple of yards from the bat.
And took for Nasser Hussain on his comeback to the England team. He played against the West Indies in the Caribbean, sustained a broken arm, broken wrist, and has now made his comeback to the side and has made a level 50. Very, very handy innings for England, I can tell you. And an outstanding partnership too between Hussain and Andrew Caddick. 276 for 6 at the end, Hussain the even half century, and the partnership there taking them on from 220. Very, very good, because there was a moment where they could have been out for around about 240 or 250. Bowling figures for Australia: Hughes 3 for 68, a good effort from him on a flat track. Julian 1 for 72. Warren bowled well once again, 34 overs, 13 maidens, and 2 for 69. And May 11 overs for 31 after having had 23 taken from his first 3. Steve Waugh, the one man to swing the ball during the day, 8 overs, 4 maidens, and no wicket for 12. And here now with their thoughts on the day, Ian Chappell, and with him Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, Ian, a day of might have beens for England. Might have been better, I suppose might have been worse.
Yeah, Robin Smith, I thought, played particularly well. One thing I would never have said about your batting, Geoffrey, I like watching Robin Smith bat. I love the way he really goes after the bowling, but he must have been disappointed not to go on and get a really big one.
I wouldn't have got out at 86, so.
You probably wouldn't have.
Nasser Hussain, I thought, played well. That was one plus for England. One of the younger players coming in and doing well. That was a plus. And then Robin Smith, psychologically, that's a huge plus for England, because he is, as you say, a dominating player for England, has been the last 2 or 3 years, him and Graham Gooch, so it was very important that he got runs, stays in the side to play in the next few test matches against Australia.
Yeah, I thought the injection of youth was good in the England side, because there was a positive approach right from the start with Lathwell playing that pull shot. So I thought there were some positive things for England in today's play.
My only worry, though, already it's turning a bit on that pitch, and England have gone into the match with only one slow bowler.
But that's Shane Warne spinning it.
A very good start to the Trent Bridge Test match. Good day's play here between England and Australia. We'll be on air at BBC One all of the day. No runs have been added. Hughes is the bowler, and Nasser Hussain is taken straight.
Nicely played, and he plays well that side of the wicket. We pointed out yesterday, Nasser Hussain tends to open the bat's face, and he plays offside. Lovely shot. The half volley, and Julian bowled a lot of these yesterday. Look. The sort of shot that gets the crowd on the edge of their seats. That was smashed away.
Yes, almost a tennis shot there.
192 wickets. It's a decent cost. Rated in the top 6 in the world. Oh, he's given him. Merv Hughes strikes again. 4th wicket for him. And the 7th England have lost. Caddick goes LBW to Hughes. And England 290 for 7.
Certainly the slow finger there from the umpire. Well, shuffling across, it is his left leg as he got turned round. I think that was pretty fair.
It's been a good innings. Well, here's the man who's been featured in most pages of the tabloids, front, back, middle, Martin McCaig. Test debut. Oh, half played, not entirely a reflexive shot. Merv Hughes has just had a word in his ear, and McCaig's had a word also with Hussain, so whether McCaig's acting as interpreter, I don't know.
Yes, I think he was looking to hit that over the top of the gully, probably. It was a slight edge, and the ball went straight over slip instead of the gully area. But looking to play it in that area.
Hughes to McCaig. Well, he's getting a working over, and nothing is more certain than he would do.
Yes, that was a good delivery. That's the type of delivery that Merv uses, causes all the batsmen problems with it. It's banged in short, not a bouncer. It's banged in pretty short, and it gets about chest high.
Seven wickets down and 300 on the board now for England. One stage, which is that they might be out for, well, say 250. It's a good shot. Stood up nice and straight and prompted down the ground, straight through that gap there between extra cover and the bowler. And that's gone. Oh, didn't actually want to go, but I'm afraid he'll have to. The umpire raised his finger, and Merv Hughes has 5 wickets.
Well, he's like all Australians. He doesn't like to go when the ball's gloved him, but I'm afraid he has to. That was an absolute snorter from Merv Hughes, from one fast bowler to another. It was a cracking delivery. It's what I mentioned about he's a smart bowler, is Merv. Changes his pace so deceptively. Stout resistance from Martin McCaig, but I could tell him a lot of batsmen might have had difficulty with that delivery, never mind a fast bowler.
Mark Arlott is the new batsman. Take those. Big day for Mark Arlott already. He's off the mark in a test match, and he's had a few words of encouragement from Merv as well. It's a pretty good bowler who can extract any life at all out of this surface. It may be that the England bowlers are able to.
It's been a lovely innings so far by Nasser Hussain. Just clipped it off his legs there for 3.
Catch it, they shout, they all go up. Mark Ireton unimpressed. Well, it's a lively theatre out there. They've all read the same script.
Yes, that was straight off the pad, just above the knee roll. Everybody round the bat seems to believe it's out every time it does it.
Well, I suppose that's always been a concerted appeal. Catch it. That's out. Well, that's beautiful bowling, so Shane Warne was absolutely right to stay around the wickets, and Nasser Hussain's long vigil ends. Just felt that they'd locked themselves into a strokeless state. And that may well have been the googly. It's worth seeing again anyway. Court Boone short leg, bowls Shane Warne. Here it comes, here's Sway Inglis.
Yes, I think it probably did go straight on, more or less. That's a fine innings, though, by Hussain. He's played very well, showed a lot of concentration, hasn't made many mistakes, and he's tried to hit the bad ball, but certainly a vital innings for England. This pitch, in fact, outside leg stump, and that certainly looks a bit pad first. Now, whether it caught the glove on the way up. But he didn't look to it anything after the pad to me.
So the England number 11 comes to the wicket. Peter Such. 321 for 9. No great score that on this pitch.
All over, and that's it. Tim May does it. Eilert out, caught, and England all out. 3-2-1. Mark Taylor had a simple chance to take there to wind things up, and a good bit of bowling from Tim May.
And it's just about equal for the two sides there. England 321, they might have made a lot more, but then equally the Australians might have knocked them over for many fewer. Good innings from Nasser Hussain, 71 for him, and Caddick 15. He's batted almost a day in the 3 test matches in which he's played. Hasn't made many runs, but he's shown plenty of courage. McCaig 9 and Eilert 6 valuable runs there for England in the context of the game. And the bowling figures, Murph Hughes 5 for 92 from 31 overs and 7 maidens. The 7th time he's taken 5 wickets in an innings in a test match. And Shane Warne bowled well, 40 overs, 17 maidens and 3 for 74. Well, the Australian openers just before lunch were Mark Taylor and Michael Slater. Here's the first ball of the innings. It's Slater taking strike and McCaig is the bowler.
Doesn't look to me as though the crowd care where he comes from. A lot of the tabloids have been suggesting he might get a rough deal from English crowd. That first ball reception was just the other way. Oh, could have been wicket number 1 for him.
Well, it was a good ball and a poor shot early on. It's a little bit wide, drawing the batsman wide into cover drive, but it left the batsman.
Oh, what a nasty delivery. Now this is quality, hostile, fast bowling.
And the crowd here supported this. They realised that was a terrific delivery. It got up, he nearly played at it. Perhaps he did. He tried to get his bat out of the way, but it's a touch and go where he actually played and took his bat away after the ball had gone past.
Well. Did he get a hand to it, or was it straight over?
Well, this is a real streaky shot here. Just before lunch, it goes flying high to Graham Thorpe. It got his hands to it. Not an easy chance. Up there, it's going quick. Very quick indeed. Look, full stretch high, but Graham Thorpe dropped it.
2 more runs added after that drop chance to take the lunchtime total up to 11 for no wickets. Slater 8 and Taylor 3. Just gives you an idea of how difficult it is for batsmen coming out for a short period like that, where they have everything to lose, and the opening bowlers can give it everything, which is exactly what the 2 England bowlers did. 11 for no wicket, and that's in reply to England's 321. 8 runs were added after lunch, and we join play now with Mark Eilert, the bowler. Michael Slater is taking strike. Very strong in that area through mid-wicket. Seems to be perfectly balanced in playing the stroke.
Yes, he's been looking to be positive right from the first ball he received. Well, there's a lot of catch it here. The ball hits the pad. The question if it hits the pad and then catches the gloves as the batsman Michael Slater comes around. Certainly the England fielders and wicketkeeper thought so, because they're running as fast as they can for the opportunity of what they think is off the pad, off the glove, and then a possible chance, but nobody quite gets there. Well, that was a terrific shot.
As free as you can get. It was airborne, but hit with tremendous power.
Well, economy of movement from Mark Taylor, just banged that ball into the ground and it bounced up over Peter Such at cover. No chance at all.
Wonderful shot. Michael Slater, we've seen it all through this series, picks the length and line so quickly.
Well, it just hit the bad ball. A little bit full, threw it up, but it didn't swing or deviate at all. It was just thrown up there.
Four more. And it's all going Australia's way. That brings the 50 up. We're in the 15th over.
This is the third time in the series in the first innings that Slater and Taylor have got away to a good start. A little bit of curve on that delivery for Peter Such. He's coming into a nice breeze. That ball just curving away quite late there. And I'm sure that was partly the reason for Slater mistiming.
Sat up and begged. 4.
That's the trouble when you're constantly banging the ball in short to try and trouble the batsman. Occasionally, he's just going to sit there and beg to be hit.
Oh, that's beautifully bowled. He's got him. He's gone. Taylor gone. McCaig's first wicket caught by Stewart. And Australia now 55 for 1.
Now that's more encouraging because that is the good follow-up to the short pitch delivery. Just enough movement to catch the edge, a faint edge, and through to Alex Stewart. So McCaig has got his first wicket in Test cricket, quite appropriately an Australian wicket.
Three fours for Mark Taylor. And Boone coming to the wicket as Taylor leaves it. Well, English, Irish or Australian, the crowd are behind him. There's a roar. We used to get this when Bob Willis or Ian Botham struck and had got a wicket. And just listen to this.
Well, it certainly is good to hear because so far England, apart from perhaps the first innings at Old Trafford, haven't been that competitive. Suddenly McCaig has put a bit of competitiveness into this Test series, almost got David Boone to knock the first one on.
Nicely pushed away. What a beautifully timed shot. Seemed to be no effort at all, just a defensive push, and it's 4.
I think Robin Smith was almost disappointed with himself that he didn't stop it in the first place. He must have got an awful shock when he looked around and saw it nudging up against the boundary rope.
Well, that's well bowled. And certainly some fire from that end. Oh, that's poor stuff. Nearly paid the ultimate, but it wasn't a delivery that Phil's short leg with any great glee either. That's beautifully timed. A lot of wrist in that shot.
So the outfield's running quickly now. Oh, wonderful stop. Terrific effort. Terrific effort by Mark Latwell. Well bowled, that's out. We talked about judging length. Well, Michael Slater, rather indeterminate footwork perhaps. The ball very quickly on him. See the disappointment. He goes now, LBW to Caddick. Fine innings, threatening innings too, plenty of good footwork before being LBW to Caddick for 40. 74 for 2, and Michael Slater goes.
The only doubt was by the umpire, was it a little bit high, but I don't think Kasoy hits him just above the knee roll, and you see he's on his back foot.
Michael Slater, LBW Caddick 40. Mark Taylor went for 28. Surprise ball. We talked about Merv Hughes and surprises, but that looked like a Yorker. It looked rather painful too.
Well, it's a beautiful Yorker. He's done him for length on a couple of occasions, and now he bowls him a beautiful Yorker, hits him on the toe. Bowled him a couple of good short balls as well. And this is what the crowd, or mainly English supporters, have been waiting to see.
And that's the type of stroke that will please his admirers. Good shot. Played with the absolute minimum of effort. It's regarded as a solid player, David Boon, but there's plenty of style about that. Wonderful stroke. Absolutely wonderful stroke.
Well, if you give this fellow a chance to play off the back foot, he does look a good player. And that just absolutely whistled away to that square boundary. Nobody bothered to move.
Shot. It does seem to me that Caddick has made a clear change in his delivery stride and the actual delivery of the ball. Ball is definitely slanting in with the batsman from the moment it leaves his hand, and he's falling away in his bowling action. And that's a nice stroke. Beautifully timed. Wonderfully well played. That's a good performance from both sides there. The Australians have got up to 124 for 2. Slater out for 40 and Taylor 28. Boon and Mark Waugh are looking menacing there, 24 and 32 respectively. And the bowling figures for England. They did a good job. The first two, McCaig, one for 26 and 11. He looked impressive. Eilert was expensive, so too was Caddick, but Peter Such has put the brakes on there with 8 overs, 3 maidens, no wicket for 14. We join play now with the third ball after tea. Eilert is bowling to Boone. No runs have been added, but Boone has just survived a violent LBW appeal.
Well, again, would it have hit, and where did it pitch? And from over the wicket, he's got problems in getting an LBW decision.
Yeah, I think this ball would have hit, but I think the umpire thinks, well, did that pitch outside leg stump? It never came back, never swung into the right-hander or seamed in. And I think he's going to struggle to get an LBW unless it's such a full delivery, a very, very full, almost Yorker delivery.
Marty McCaig, he's been the pick of the England attack, and he certainly got the crowd fired up, and they were with him. Got his wicket, and he's peppered all the Australian batsmen he's bowled to. See how he comes back.
Well, I was just about to say, I'm not sure you can bowl at David Boone without a squarish third man. He's so good at the cut shot. This was an easy ball to hit. This was short and wide, but if you're bowling at off stump and you just happen to get it a touch short, a touch wide, he's so good he's going to smash it in that area.
Again, straying leg side. And a piece of nice timing from David Boone. He's done that a couple of times to that square boundary. Hardly seemed to do anything other than push this. Little turn of the wrists and the ball just raced away. That's wide. Four of them. Slip. Brings up the 150 for Australia, and they're the first extras of the innings. Mark Waugh's got that one. Well, this is an expensive theory if England don't think that he can hook. Certainly he can deal with Eilert.
Well, he played an indifferent hook shot against Andrew Caddick before tea, so they're obviously testing him out. But Mark Eilert, although he's got a different angle, he isn't as quick as Andrew Caddick or Marty McCaig.
Very wide. Well, a score of 161 for 2, and there have been 24 fours in that. That's been England's problem. And another one. Gooch has to try something different. That's 50. Stylish, full of flourishing strokes. His 8th 50 for Australia, and in total command of that square cut, 9 fours.
Very, very good 50 for David Boone. Mark Waugh has already reached his 57. Boone 50, and that's a real good knock. He's been on the receiving end of a few glares out there. Don't think one of his facial muscles has so much as twitched. What a peach of a shot. Caddick's first ball. McCaig has taken some stick, and the first ball Caddick has bowled, Mark Waugh has just caressed him down the ground. Now that could be out. Yes, well caught. Well caught, nicely judged. McCaig is having a very good debut. He started off bowling well. Now he's taken a good catch. Mark Waugh has gone at 70 at a moment where he had 100 there for the taking.
It's a bad habit of Mark Waugh's. He gets out in very soft fashion when he's well set. And maybe that is the break that England were looking for, exactly the same as the long hop that got rid of Alex Stewart. Enticed by the fact that there was no outfield, Mark Waugh getting the ball near the toe of the bat, and a very good catch there by Martin McCaig. Had to make a lot of ground, did it easily, and caught the ball very confidently.
Well, good shot. A little more than a defensive stroke there.
That's well played and well placed. Ball racing down the hill there. And David Boone playing some very powerful shots. Oh, and that hits Steve Waugh. He ducked into a ball that didn't really climb very high. And that really hit Steve Waugh there, and he's been quite unsettled during this spell. First by Caddick, and now by McCaig, who's come on at the Ratcliffe Road end. Oh, that must be close. David Boone trying to play with the spin, played in fact quite across the line there. Oh, that's his strength. Ball pulled down right to David Boone's strength, that square cut, and he played it so late, and he beat the diving fielder at backward point.
Well, that was well bowled, and he's got him. Martin McCaig strikes. And Roy Palmer there, he gave him the slow burn, whether to give him chance to walk or not, as umpires sometimes do. But Steve Waugh goes, and that's the second wicket for McCabe.
Thoroughly deserved this wicket. He's been the best of the England bowlers. He's bowled with determination and aggression all through the day. Roy Palmer thought about it for a while.
So, new batsman, night watchman Ian Healy. 25 minutes to go. So England's chance, if they can nip Healy out, or even Boone, and force Border to come in.
Well, that shot left Martin McCaig a bit puzzled. It looked like a little firm push for two from the night watchman Ian Healy, and it just kept on going with perfect timing and running ahead of the cover point fielder to the boundary for four.
Oh, that's close. That is the closest of the lot that Islet's had. Full Yorker.
Well, it was a terrific delivery. It went in quite quickly, went straight in, hit him right on the front toe, and I thought that was out. You see, his left foot's gone outside leg stump, but when it hits him, I thought it's either just outside leg stump or out. That was a difficult decision for the umpire, and he erred on behalf of the batsman. But I think he's a lucky young man to still be there.
That's out. Thorpe takes the catch, and Islet's first wicket, and he's deserved that. So Night Watchman Healy goes, caught for 9, 250 for 5.
Well, it was a lovely catch. It went quite quickly. It went nice catching height. That one just moved off the seam. It seemed to go right across the right-hander, Healy. Ian Healy caught Thorpe, bowled Islet for 9.
So Brendan Julian, first ball from Islet. Oh, nearly his last. Everybody's fired up. What a good over, because Mark Islet, he's looked plain so far in this match, and yet suddenly he sprung to life. Had an LBW appeal turned down, he got a wicket and nearly a second one.
That's a good performance from the Australians to get up to 262 for 5, but England fought back well. Mark Waugh will be very disappointed getting out for 70 after playing such a good hand, and David Boone not out 88. Alan Border hasn't batted yet. He has hay fever problems, eye problems, and the pollen count is very high in the area. And the bowling figures for England: McCaig, a good debut for him, 2 for 82, a wicket each for Islet, Such and Caddick. And the state of the game after 2 days: England 321, Australia 262 for 5. Here now is Ian Chappell, and with him Geoffrey Boyko.
Well, Ian, the highlight of the day for me was Martin McCaig's performance. Fast, aggressive. We've got an English fast bowler here.
Took an Australian to put a bit of fire into that attack, didn't it? But the thing that I liked was that he got the crowd going. Obviously, the crowd are quite happy that he's an English player, but he really got the crowd going here at Trent Bridge, and for a while there was a terrific atmosphere.
Wonderful. A man born in Northern Ireland, brought up in Australia. You've given us something at last, a fast bowler.
Who said we weren't generous people, eh?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it, though?
I think he got to Mark Islet, though, because I think when he saw all this fire coming from the other end, he tried to be fiery as well, when what was required was the last couple of overs that Mark Islet bowled, a little bit of swing and a little bit of seam, and on the spot. And I think he suddenly worked out what his job was in the England side in those last couple of overs.
Correct. Now, if we can get Martin McCaig to encourage Andy Caddick to bowl quicker and faster and aggressive tomorrow, we might just have a game on our hands.
2 very good days cricket here at Trent Bridge in this third Cornhill Test match, and coverage of the third day's play will be in grandstand commencing at 10:55. Of the third day's play of this Cornhill Test match between England and Australia at Trent Bridge. We've had 2 wonderful days so far, some very competitive cricket. England did well on the first day, then Australia fought back. England made 321, and it's been a thoroughly good performance from the 2 sides. One of the men holding Australia together, as he has done so often in recent years, was David Boone. He's had a terrific series so far. Wonderful player, played a lovely innings yesterday, tough as Tasmanian teak. And against him, well, a chap who's been brought up to play his cricket in Australia, but did very well in his debut Test match for England yesterday, Martin McCaig. I thought he showed a lot of ability, and he showed a bit of fire in the belly as well. Well, at the start of play, those 2 men will be in competition, Boone and Martin McCaig. That's the way it is. England 321 all out. Australia 262 for 5. Boone is unbeaten on 88. Mark Waugh played very well yesterday, and Boone has with him today Brendan Julian, and the Australians are 59 runs behind. We join play now in the first over of the day. It's the 5th ball. Mark Islet, the left-hander, is the bowler. Brendan Julian has taken strike, and no runs have been added to the overnight score. Moved a long way off the pitch, went away off the seam, and Julian just managed to get the outside edge to it. Good catch by Alex Stewart. He had to go across, and I suspect he had to go a bit forward as well. So the breakthrough has come for England.
Yes, I like getting some movement. He did this late on yesterday, pitching round about leg stump. He's got the natural angle of the left arm over the wicket ball, but it did go off the seam as well. And he did this later on yesterday. He moved nothing all through the day, and then last 2 or 3 hours last night he decided to move the ball.
That's a good breakthrough for England in the first over of the morning. Alan Border does come out now. So he will join David Boone. Little edge, perhaps.
Islet certainly getting the ball to go back into the right hand, and a definite edge there, I would say. Otherwise there would have been a big shout.
Claiming it, but all sorts of ricochets and the Yorker, and just an excited appeal more than anything else. No real disappointment when it was turned down by umpire Mayer. Didn't really get hold of it. Good job he didn't. That was not a convincing stroke. Ilott has bowled quite sharply this morning.
Well, Alan Border, I don't think he's done anything this morning that's been convincing for his own team. He had to fetch that from right outside off stump. He was lucky that it fell short of fine leg. I felt that the spell of bowling by England this morning has been the best of the series from both ends.
Lathwell can't cut that off. That was fortunate. Just wonder with Boone there, because Ilott, he has got movement and a little bit of lift. If he couldn't have a gully there or a third slip, easy to talk after the four's gone, but there has been something there for him this morning.
He's done exactly what they want of him, Mark Ilott. He's not tried to bowl too quick, but he's bowled lively, and he's just moved the ball around a bit.
That'll be it. That'll be the 100. 16th for David Boone for Australia. His 5th against England, 2nd in successive test matches. It's come off 170 balls, there have been 17 fours there. Oh, that's a good shot. Another 4.
That was a quality shot by Alan Border. Put right to the pitch of the ball. He waited for it, timed it beautifully.
Factor of Martin McCaig that Jeff Borthop was talking about. It's certainly the breakthrough England desperately wanted, and now, well, right back in the game with Boone gone for 101 and a 3rd wicket for McCaig.
Well, a super innings by David Boone, but a beautiful piece of bowling by Martin McCaig. Give full credit to the bowler. Slightly slower ball. This didn't come out of his hand too quick. He gets there early and away from his body. And then the inside edge, you might say a slice of luck onto the stumps, but he deceived David Boone. He's got 100, so it was clever bowling, quality bowling.
Merv Hughes didn't come into 3 cheers from the crowd by any means.
Now people think of him as Big Bad Merv, but he's a terrific competitor.
Oh, what a good shot. A little short arm jab, but he's a dangerous merchant, is Mervyn Hughes.
My word, that was easy. Hardly a follow-through, just the timing, the angling of the bat, the opening out of the bat. Beautifully played. They look for a second, as Eilert has to run about 50 or 60 yards up from fine leg. Two more from Merv Hughes. That's quite a strong appeal. Well justified, as Merv Hughes just did a little perambulation across the crease.
In fact, that's well worth a shout. It hit on the inside of the pad. Merv Hughes must have just been a touch outside off stump when it hit him, but not much.
That's a real clutch. It's got a terrific wipe. Oh, he's bowled him. He's bowled him. I think gratis Merv Hughes, who played an optimistic stroke, I think it's fair to say. But this is certainly now a contest, I think, beyond England's dreams that they could be so much in the match on this third day.
Good bowling there from Eilert. He's done extremely well this morning, and he's shown that he's got some test match qualities. A little bit of swing there that just beat Merv Hughes' slog, and he's out for 17. Australia now 8 for 311.
Shane Warne is the new batsman.
Good square drive. Now that one went away from the left-hander. It just gave him a little bit of room. Border pounced on it.
Now, beautiful delivery, and certainly Carrick making the ball do more than he's done any time in this series now, and that's a good ball, and that's how I'd like to see him bowling.
The outfield has quickened up dramatically from the first day. That was just a gentle little nudge from Alan Border. And at one point, it looked as though Peter Such might drag it in. And then it fairly raced away from him. 2 leg byes added to take the Australian total up to 324 for 8 at lunch. And a good performance there from David Boone. A century for him, successive centuries in the tests here. Border 28 not out, handicapped through illness. And Hughes 17. Shane Warne is with him there. And the bowling figures for England, a good performance from McCaig again, 3 for 101. And Eilert, I thought was the star of the morning, came back very well, 3 for 102, and such a wicket, and 1 for Caddick as well. We join play after lunch in the third over. The 4 runs have been added, and Caddick is bowling to Warne.
Andrew Caddick, he's got this lovely line on Shane Warne, just outside off stump. Making life too difficult for him. In fact, the bowling is too good for the tail ender.
Dear me. Impossible that Caddick can still probe around that off stump and not get the outside edge.
Well, he needs to bowl these balls at top-class batsmen, but they're too good for a tail ender. The line, the lens, just outside off stump, just moving away to the slips, holding its own a bit off the seam.
Another 4. How many times has Warne played on the offside and missed, and the first time he gets any sort of bat on it, it goes for 4.
Mark Islet then to have his first opportunity to bowl at Shane Warne since lunch.
Was a good shot. Warne's never had to do much batting for Australia, but he is quite capable. Has good style. When he was with the under-19s in Australia, he made some runs for them as well as took wickets. And Border has been given a bit of width there by McCaig, and he has smashed that away through extra cover. Hasn't made many since lunch, but he waited on that, gave it plenty.
Yes, so there's no holding back there. I think like most left-handers, they like a little bit of room outside that off stump. Give them everything.
There's a good shot from Border. Got it away over mid-on. And it runs down to the rope. That will be more incentive for Graham Gooch to take the second new ball. Probably with McCaig in his next over from Radcliffe Road End.
Yes, I couldn't believe Alan Border would play too long against the off-spinner. Having him back over the top. Over the top again, slight inside edge, and a straightforward catch to Smith at mid-wicket.
Well, that's the one England needed. The lead at the moment is only 35, and that is manageable so far as Graham Gooch is concerned. Alan Border out for 38. 129 balls. It'll be one of the slowest innings he's played. But he was unwell yesterday and is not fully fit today. Playing the same stroke, where he picked such up earlier in the over, and that's quite a good catch. It would have taken Smith a moment or so to pick it up in the background of the crowd at the Radcliffe Road End, and Border is gone. 356 for 9 now. Border caught Smith bowled such for 38.
McCaig is bowling to Shane Warne. Oh, that might have been a catch. 4 runs off the bat. It was a catchable height, but wide of Alex Stewart.
We almost got there. It would have been a brilliant catch if we got to that.
So Tim May, the number 11, has to face the second new ball. Big appeal. That would depend on whether the ball was swinging.
Tim May going a long way across. Very close, but the umpire probably decided didn't quite hold it up enough from the leg side.
That's out. The second new ball does the trick. Tim May is out, and Australia are bowled out for 373.
What they got to decide there was any edge, or did their leg get outside the off stump? Well, the umpire, no doubt.
That's a good performance from Shane Warne, not out 35 in that total of 373. And the bowling figures for England, McCaig and Islet. Islet still starred after lunch, and Such 2 for 51, with Caddick 1 for 81. And the position of the game at the end of the 2 innings, a lead for Australia by 52 runs. We join play now in the 3rd over. Hughes is the bowler, and batting for England is Lathwell.
Well, that was a no such shot. It's the sort of ball which is outside of stump you go feeling after.
Oh, and nerves arrived.
Well, I was just about to say it's a good time to be bowling. The temperature's dropped, it's got cloudy, overcast, a little murky for batting, and he bowls a beauty here to Michael Atherton. Pitched and left him.
Wonderful shot. That's one of his strengths.
You see, you've got much more time when they allow you to play back. Especially when Brendan Julian's not particularly quick. You've time. This one was a little shorter than normal and it just gets the full treatment. It's cracked away. Good shot.
Not a good shot. There's every chance, had he laid any bat on that he wouldn't have deflected it wide of wicketkeeper Ian Healy. Too wide, really, to play this sort of shot to. He's going round with it. And that was so close. Oh, there again. Big shout. Oh, he's given him. Umpire Mayo's given him. Michael Atherton stood there. Umpire Palmer has asked for a replay. But he's given him out. Cannot ask for a replay, those are for line decisions only. And that was the sort of shot which we saw Michael Atherton try earlier on in the over. And we did point out that if he got anything on it, it was quite likely to go to the wicket-keeper. Now, what did he get on it? Glove? And what was Michael Atherton's query in staying there? Did he think it had carried?
Well, I think he got the bat on it as he followed it round just to find back. And I think he was wondering whether it actually carried to the keeper. He goes round on the back, it's quite clear there, he hit it to me, and he's just querying whether the wicket-keeper caught it on the full and not the half volley. It's a sad way to be out.
One more run added to take the score up to 12 for 1 wicket at tea. Atherton out for 9, Lathwell is 3, and Robin Smith yet to get off the mark. We pick up play now in the first over after tea. No runs have been added. Julian is the bowler, and Robin Smith is taking straight.
Fine shot, an excellent piece of fielding by Slater there. And so fielding wins matches and things like that, and brilliant catches that we saw Julian take of caught and bowled in the first innings. That's what the game is all about. Half volley, Smith giving it the full treatment. Magnificent stop.
That's a good shot. Beautifully pulled away through mid-wicket. Straight down into the ground.
Yes, when you can pull the ball down through straight mid-wicket, that shows you've got plenty of time to play the shot.
Oh, there's a good stroke. A tester there from Hughes.
Oh, genuine bouncer. Just took him up fractionally. I don't think he did exactly as he wanted to. Got away with it, though, but there's nothing more that Merv likes than getting stuck in when he's been hooked for 4. He'll come charging back now.
That's a better shot. They only get 1 for it. But he got himself, I think, with the naked eye anyway, nicely inside that. They even have thought it was going to be on its way to him.
I'll say that, Rich. I think he might have thought as a bouncer coming here. I think he was half waiting for this. And he played that pretty well.
Nice timing. Good fielding. Saved 1 run. Would have been 4.
can see Robin Smith's itching to use his feet to get to the off spinner. He tried that at Lords and got stumped with one that turned and went down the leg side. Let's see Slater just stopping himself in front of the rope.
Cracking shot and great fielding by Steve Waugh. Nobody got that other than from the opposite side of the rope.
That's a super shot. That's perfect.
And beautiful. Two great shots in the one over. And Julian as the fielder. Oh, good throw. He has a great throwing arm.
Well, the fielder got hands to that. It's England's 50, and it's still gone for 4. Just wondered how often you see a ball hit with such power off the front foot behind square on the offside. And again, that's magnificent. And that's also the lead. The crowd are not slow to pick that up. What a shot this was.
Well, it's perfect for him. It's right in the slot. Anywhere up and wide, he'll hit you all day long, front or back foot, with precision.
That's a lovely shot. That's 4 more. Well, we've said what a risky player he is, and this shot just shows how risky.
Yeah, Shane Warne gave him lots of room, and he just cut it behind square.
Oh, don't think there was a nick there. The keeper didn't hold on to it, but it looks as though Lathwell, with no discernible foot movement, was well and truly beaten.
Well, it was perfectly bowled. The googly pitched outside off stump to come back into him.
That's the 50 partnership. Come up only 72 balls. And the crowd have had some rich batting entertainment in the last couple of days. Australia cracking on about this time yesterday, and look at this for a shot.
Well, young Mark Lathwell didn't pick the first googly that he was bowled, but he certainly picked that one.
Oh, turned.
That must have hit a little bit of the bowler's rough, the follow through. See here, yeah, see the puff of dust? That's definitely a bowler's foot mark.
Oh, and another one. That one probably turned even more sharply.
Well, it was good cricket here. He really spun this.
Wonderful, good footwork.
Well, you better bowl well at Robin Smith when he's in this mood. His confidence is high from runs in the first innings and his 190 for Hampshire against the Australians. And I just get the feeling, as I did first innings, that underneath he's also a little bit aggrieved that there was discussion about dropping him from the England Test side.
Oh, and again. Oh, this is spectacular stuff. Oh, nicely bowled.
Well, this is the benefit of pitching into the rough. It turns such a lot. It grips does the ball. It beat the outside edge of young Lathwell.
There's another one.
Well, it's gift-wrap bowling, is this? You cannot bowl short for Robin Smith, even if he's out of form, so he certainly can't do it when he's feeling very aggressive and in good nick. He'll murder you.
Oh, that's close. That is close. No shot played. David Boonet's short square legs got het up about that one.
Well, David Boone usually doesn't say anything. Shane Warne's very upset. You see this one pitching in line. Oh dear. I mean, you could say that might have pitched and turned and missed off stump, but I think most times you get given out for that, not playing the shot at all. That was a beauty, wasn't it?
I'm not sure who's getting in the bigger tangle here, the batsman or the keeper.
You see here, Robin Smith has much more problems if you bowl leg stump. He's got his foot on the wrong side of the ball.
Robin Smith's 50. The ball floated with an extra height, and Smith saw it, dashed down the pitch, and, well, when he thumps it, it really stays thumped. Up they go, and Smith is gone. Beautifully bowled. The faintest outside edge, but beautifully pitched. That leg spinner, the stock ball, again dragged Smith lunging onto the front foot. And Ian Healy took the catch. 100 for 2.
A quicker leg spinner there from Shane Warne, so that when it spun, it went quickly. It didn't go far, and just got a little touch there. So Shane Warne has once again turned the match in Australia's favour by getting rid of the very dangerous Robin Smith.
He picked it up well enough.
There's another reason why Alex Stewart is important to England, because he does play leg spin bowling quite well. No trouble there at all with the flipper.
Oh, that must be close. Yes, it's out, and I'm afraid the wiles of Shane Warne were much too much for Mark Lathwell. It really bamboozled him into a state of just being able to push out with the front pad, absolutely uncertain about which way the ball might turn. Still, he fought it out well. 33 runs. England's third wicket goes down for 109.
That was the top spinner going straight on, and that was the key to it. Not pitching outside leg stump, pitching in line. and it also pitched short enough so that Roy Palmer could see it travelling straight, and because the batsman hadn't played a shot, he was on his way. So disappointing end for Mark Lathwell. Played well against the quick bowlers, but really struggled against the spinners.
And here comes Graham Gooch, and did anything depend more upon the England captain? Given England such a strong lead from the opening batting position over the last years, notably against the West Indies, really turned the tide against West Indies for England.
A very nice stroke from Graham Gooch. Pretty good off the mark. Captain and vice-captain together at the moment. They know precisely what's wanted.
It's a delightful shot. He just watches it, waits till the last moment, and late cuts it.
Didn't quite get that, but it shows exactly what his intentions are, to hit with the spin. England have the lead at the moment. They've lost 3 wickets. Every run will be difficult for Australia to chase. In for a good match, I think. They're asking for that on the basis that it hit the pad before it hit the bat.
It certainly was a very dangerous shot. The ball running on quite quickly. You could see that the ball would probably have missed off stump.
Well, I have a feeling that Gooch hit his pad with his bat, not the ball hit the pad. Oh, that's out. That's plumb. Alex Stewart has to go. Umpire Barry Mayer has given him LBW to Hughes. Ball of very full length, probably the attempted Yorker. I'm not certain if it got through at Yorker length.
Well, the problem for Alex Stewart was he hit across the line. Although it was a very full delivery, he was hitting this towards mid-wicket. Right up there, you see, and the bat's going through, it's closed as the bat, so we actually see the edge of it at one stage. He's hitting it too square.
Well, the return of Hughes to the attack did the trick. Now, the interest for the Australians will be which batsman is coming out now. But I know is it going to be a night watchman, and it is. Gooch is out in the centre, so he'd have made some plans before he left. Graham Gooch is going to take strike to Merv Hughes. 10 minutes to go.
Now, this would be the prize wicket for Australia if Graham Gooch were to be got out.
Great shot, great reply. And Gooch now has scored 2,000 Test match runs against Australia. 9 others have done it before him.
Good shot, Merv Hughes banging it in, trying to unsettle him. Pulled it well. Didn't hook it, just pulled it, rolled his wrists.
No more runs added after that boundary for Graham Gooch, but more important for England, no wickets went down. 122 for 4 at the close of play. Caddick has resisted the Australians once again. A brilliant innings from Robin Smith and a good knock from Lathwell, although he was all at sea against Shane Warne. The bowling figures show that Warne took 2 for 30 from 13 overs and 6 maidens, and Hughes once again was magnificent. 11 overs, 5 maidens and 2 for 25. And the state of play after 3 days, England 70 runs ahead.
Well, in this game of Test cricket, match winners are very important, and we had a perfect example late this evening. Robin Smith, who's a match winner for England, looked like he was taking the game in England's direction, and suddenly Shane Warne, one of Australia's match winners, got him out, and it just changed the course of the game.
Yeah, Robin Smith, he's a dominating personality and a dominating batsman. He had Australia, had the crowd on his side, had all shouting for England again, and then suddenly it changed. As soon as he got out, Australia just strangled the England batsmen.
Yes, it just sort of stopped the scoring, didn't it? And Lathwell didn't really seem to know much about the spinners, and once you stop the scoring, you're well on the way to getting wickets.
And the thing is, you don't only just have Warne, you've got Big Bad Murph to come on, and he sneaked a wicket at the end. So that is the difference, those two match-winning performers that you have, and we don't have any bowlers like that.
So Graham Gooch has really got to get on top of the Australian bowling, and I think he's got to take it to Merv a bit.
Well, we have another match-winning batsman besides Smithy, and that is Gooch, and it's got to be Gooch on Monday. He's got to do the stuff.
Yes, it'll need to be a real captain's knock from Graham Gooch on Monday when play resumes. And it's a rest day tomorrow. We have an enthralling test match in view on the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. It's been 3 wonderful days of cricket so far. Coverage will continue on Monday on BBC Two at 70 runs ahead. We join it now in the 9th over of the morning. 7 runs have been added. It's been slow going, but no wickets have fallen. And Warne is bowling to Gooch.
Say, Raymond, Shane Warne has been pulled more often in this match than in any of the previous 2 tests.
Yes, I think that could well be because he's bowled into this stiff breeze.
Oh, no, that's the one. Gooch may have known that was a leg spinner, but it seemed to fizz a little more than the others.
I think it's the line that he bowled as well, just slightly drifting and pitching very straight.
Good shot. Beautifully played by Gooch. It was just a little short. Not much. Just a little. And his footwork was good, got himself into perfect position. Shows how little margin for error is on the pitch with not a great deal of bounce or pace. God. Those 2 lovely strokes from Gooch this morning, one off Shane Warne off the back foot, and that was a glorious square drive.
Yes, Graham Gooch has looked in good touch all morning. His footwork's been excellent. The weight of his body forward looks solid.
The wrong one, then Alien batsman's not really supposed to.
Well, it is dangerous to pad up, not play a shot, can be given out for that. Now, this ball is fairly straight, it doesn't angle back into the batsman. That's what the umpire will be looking for. I think if Brendan Julian could pitch the ball up outside off stump, try and encourage Andrew Caddick to play a shot or 2, got a couple of slips and a gully for the edge. Well, the England supporters in the crowd are very pleased with the misfielding out in the covers. I think that's the best way to bowl at the tail ender, is to try and make him play a shot or 2 to the offside. That's not very impressive.
Oh, it's well played. He just got a touch to it. But Gooch hit it with tremendous power, and he picked, or almost picked, the gap. Still picked up 4.
Well, he threw it up, really threw it up, did the bowler. Gave Graham Gooch the opportunity to hit at it, but he hit it so hard that he never had much chance of catching the ball.
the pleased Andrew Caddick. Nice meaty sound off the bat. He hardly would have felt that, it was timed so well. That's 4 more. Michael Slater in this field. Just got his fingers to it. And 2 very good strokes in that over from Andrew Caddick.
Well, that was the extra flip of the wrist there, the rip of the fingers, and you ball turned square.
Well, he's just aiming all the time, is Shane Warne, into those foot marks. You just see a little bit of dust there.
Beautifully bowled.
I'm not fully sure that he actually played it. I think he half played and half let it turn because he knew it was going past the stumps.
One thing that has impressed me of Andrew Caddick today is that he's judged length very well. He played Merv Hughes well, and Big Merv tested him with a number of short deliveries over and around the wickets. Shane Warne, of course, has bowled his wrist spin at him. He's managed to get length right. Of course, he has a long reach, so that he can settle the forward stroke to many more balls than a shorter person. He's out. Having said that, that was well bowled, actually. He got up a little bit. And the technique of getting the foot down the pitch and getting on top of the bounce this time did not come off. Caddick caught by Boone, bowled Julian for 12, but still, that is a considerable effort by the tail-ender.
He's batted for over 7 hours in the series, and he'll be a little disappointed with that. Just popping forward to a ball that was short of the length. Might have surprised him with the bounce. Hit right up near the blade of the bat, and a simple catch for David Boone. But he's done a good job as a night watchman, Andrew Caddick. It's now 5 for 159.
It's a real struggle for England now, and they look to Graham Gooch, of course, to Graham Thorpe and Nasser Hussain, specialist batsman. Finds the gap. And Graham Gooch is rightly happier to play the ball with the spin away to the offside.
This is about all that Gooch has done against Shane Warne. Just waited for the really short one and banged it away through the offside. Occasional pull shot.
Well, this is a testing moment. 111 runs ahead. Good shot. Well, that'll help Graham Thorpe, no doubt.
That's a very confident start from Thorpe. I was impressed with the way he played in the one-day matches, in the Texaco Trophy games. Not just from his technique, but from the cricketing thought that went into it. I thought he was very composed.
Well, that's the confident Gooch we're used to seeing. It was on the short side. It wasn't exactly a long hop, but it was cheerfully clouted away through mid-wicket.
It wasn't a long hop, Tony. It was a damn good imitation.
outside edge. Brendan Julian, 13 runs off that over. Graham Gooch is 50. The shot may well have been predetermined, an effort to impose his own power on the match.
I don't think there was any doubt that it was predetermined. A little bit of curve there for Tim May.
Well, I think Gooch has decided that Tim May's got to go. And he went. Oh, brilliant stop. Steve Orr got down early to that. Beautiful stroke from Graham Gooch.
Gooch has been in little trouble this morning, other than 2 or 3 deliveries which Warne spun sharply from around the line of middle stump. Everywhere else the leg spinners tried, Gooch has played him well. Then he gets the full toss. Well, he holed out to one of those at Old Trafford, but takes him to 58 and he scored a 198.
Now, these are the type of deliveries, if you're just playing for a draw and you're just trying to block, you can sort of see that your eyes light up and you think, oh, here it goes, and you hurl out. But Gooch has looked positive all morning. He's looked to play shots to the bad ball, and you find it much easier than to strike the bad ball when it comes along.
That's the 200. That's a good rate of progress this morning for England. They've scored 78 and they've come off 32 overs, so around 2.5 runs an over. It's a time when they were really looking to get through the morning session without too much damage. One more.
Gooch has not missed out on much this morning. Anything loose is put away, and doing so again.
No more runs added. 210 for 5 at lunch. A good effort. Graham Gooch, a real captain's knock there, 69 not out. Caddick did well for his 12 runs, and Graham Thorpe is looking good, unbeaten on 15. The bowling figures for Australia, just the 1 wicket for Brendan Julian, 1 for 40. Hughes has 2 for 30, and Warne 2 for 61 from 31 overs and 16 maidens. The state of the game at lunch on the 4th day, England 158 runs ahead, 5 wickets in hand. We join play now after lunch. It's the first over, no runs have been added. Alan Border is the bowler and Graham Thorpe is taking strike. A little push by Graham Thorpe for 3. Thorpe has got that away for 4. Beaten Hughes, and the outfield is fast. There's 7 runs to Graham Thorpe since lunch.
Well, there's a little bit of an element of luck about this. I don't think he made the plate quite so fine. He's kind of hit it off the back foot fairly square. It went behind, but it went wide of slip.
That's the one he'll wait for. Brilliant hit. Jumped all over that one. Got it away through mid-wicket for 6.
Yes, it's almost a game of cat and mouse between Shane Warne and Graham Gooch. It's been like this all morning. Which one's going to break first? And every time he's given him something short to hit, Graham Gooch has smacked it out of sight.
Looks as though Merv is going to be into the attack very shortly. There's a chase for him. That'll just loosen up a hamstring or two.
It's a short one, it goes for 4. That's his 3rd 4.
Yes, he probably just needs a little bit of work on the short pitch deliveries. He got out to one from Merv Hughes in the first innings, but he has shown a keenness to play the pull shot.
That was similar to the delivery that got him first innings, except that one was more directly at the Adams apple. That was about 10 degrees off. Well, that's one that Gooch did leave alone, but it nearly didn't leave him alone.
Graham seems to have made a decision in this match that he's not going to play the pull shot or hook shot against Merv Hughes. That one really just kept following him.
Our scorer Malcolm Ashton said a limbo ball. Now, we were talking about Hughes and thinking there might be a groin problem, which I think the pictures confirm. Well, drinks interval everywhere. It looks as though Hughes goes. Now that is a sad blow for Australia. Although England's supporters will be relieved, I don't think anybody can be happy at seeing a marvellous big-hearted cricketer like Hughes limping out of, well, certainly the afternoon and maybe the innings.
Watch it, watch it, watch it. Look at that ball. Wow, did the ball hit the stumps? Did the ball rest against the stumps? Graham Thorpe's in some discomfort there, and that's why he totally forgot the ball for that brief moment. Just watch the ball, that's the thing. We were all concentrating on... Wow. And the ball... It rolls against the stumps. Right, this is the one. It rolls back towards the stumps. Oh. One more revolution. Well, that was an easier catch than the one he took.
Yes, compared to the one that the full toss that Robin Smith hit back, that was a reasonable chance. Didn't go all that hard, and he had time to get back. Didn't quite reach far enough with his hand. It didn't go that hard, and that was a reasonable chance.
Cheer for the 250 coming up. so much due to the captain, Graham Gooch, for the marvellous lead he's given. And top-class support offered by Graham Thorpe in his first Test match. Tim May is the fielder. And that's a 200 lead now for England.
Good shot for 4. Right, well, that's broken the shackles a little. It certainly did. 2 more runs were added to take the tea time score up to 264 for 5. It was a very slow session. Only 54 runs scored in the 2 hours and only 17 in the last hour of play. Well, the bowling figures for the Australians. Merv Hughes 2 for 41, 2 for 71 for Shane Warne. And the situation of the game at tea time on the 4th day, England 212 ahead. That is a very, very good performance. We join play now in the first over after tea. Merv Hughes is back on the field to test his injury. No runs have been added. Tim May is the bowler and Graham Gooch is taking strike.
Somebody's going to have to dive, and it'll be a spectator, because that's 4. Gooch's 15th 4. Good timing. Fielder's wasting his time there. There's Tim May chasing. Graham Thorpe, that's his 4th boundary. Oh, that might be it. And his wonderful effort, Graham Gooch's 19th Test 100, his 11th while captains of England, and the 6th in the last 2 years.
Well, that's a wonderful effort by Graham Gooch. He's been under pressure for his captaincy and everything else, where England have played the lot. But from his own personal point of view, he's certainly answered the critics there.
And that is another 2 or 3 runs, certainly. If it's 3, we'll get the loudspeaker on again to announce another landmark for Graham Gooch. 8,000 Test runs for Graham Gooch. There we are. That puts him in the very short list of people who've scored 8,000 or more runs in Test cricket. There it is. With Sobers next in his sights. And now Jeffrey. Wow, look at that one go.
I saw Gooch there going with this to the leg side to try and block it. You see, look how much that went. Now, if that hadn't bounced quite so high, Gooch could have been in real problems there.
Tim May. Gooch still running his runs quickly, and that good attacking play got him 2. Spotted that he'd put just sufficient pace on to get 2 if he ran quickly. Didn't pick it up at fine leg, and he wouldn't have got there anyway. I'm not sure that that's where Gooch was playing it, but it still went pretty quickly.
No, I think he was pointing that straighter than that. But 2 or 3 of these shots, not quite middled them. Yeah, I would think mid-wicket there, and that's gone behind square at the finish.
There's 50. Fine effort. First test match, first 50. More than that, he's helping to change the course of the match.
Yes, that'll be a relief for him. Also for Keith Fletcher, the England manager. He's one of those that I think wanted the younger players to come in. There's Fletch there. And Lathwell, Thorpe, McCaig, they've all done pretty well.
Here's a good shot. That's great footwork. And I think on the replay you'll see that he was perfectly balanced in the execution of the stroke as well, even though it was slightly unorthodox.
One of his favourite shots, this. He gets away from the ball, gives himself room, and then just delicately late cuts it. Almost a back cut, really, but beautifully executed.
Lead is 251. That's a good stroke.
What, 44 since C? A run a minute, virtually.
.150 partnership and a very good run. Just think of all the good that'll do Graham Thorpe, batting with his captain who's made 100 in a pressure situation, changed team. Almost like boy's own annual. Oh, well bowled. That's fun. A lot. Nothing Gooch really could do about that. I suppose he needn't have played it, but he's trying to force the pace a bit now, trying to play more balls than he would have before tea. And Gooch is out now for 120 splendid innings. And has been under a lot of pressure, and he's done wonderfully well throughout this series. Everyone rising to him as he leaves the field.
Well, it was a top-class innings, and if he'd have got out this morning early, I think England could quite easily have folded and lost the game again. Super delivery. Spun out of that rough.
Safe hands of Mark Taylor had slipped. Certainly spun a long way. And this is in Shane Warne's 38th over. 38 overs on 18 maidens. longer Thorpe has been in, the more assured he has looked. Good effort. He's gone on now to 59. 3:13 for 6. Well bowled by Warne was the slower, higher tossed leg break.
Well, it just shows how difficult he is to score off. He's just hopeless trying to drive in. We mentioned in the tea interval about trying to drive it on the onside against the spin is, well, near impossible unless it's so well pitched up. It's right up to the back.
England lead by 269. Just to pursue that debate we were having, Ian, fear of failure is something that very much controls some ordinary test cricket. Requires the outstanding captain or the outstanding side, doesn't it, to really go for it. I mean, very often fear of failure dominates whole test matches.
Yes, it certainly does. And you know, when you've been losing for a while.
Just a couple of runs.
When you've been losing for a while, that can dominate your thinking. But I'm a great believer that there are little psychological moments in not only a test match, but a test series where suddenly the opposition shows that it is vulnerable. And I think that you've got to let the opposition know that you realise that and you're going to do something about it. It can help you later on, even if it doesn't help you at the time.
Yeah, that's short. It was the Google, but first bounce for 4. There'll be runs on this for Nasser Hussain. Indeed, 4 runs. He just clipped it through mid-wicket. And that meant a long run for Shane Warne from deep back with square leg. Oh, drawn forward to drive that and change his mind and almost popped a catch back to Alan Border.
Just stopping the shot, he didn't quite get there. The ball is misplaced.
So close, either to bat edge or the corner of off stump, perhaps even both.
And that's the extra bounce again there, and we've just seen that occasionally later in the game. Shane Warne getting the ball to bounce more now.
Oh, that asked for it. Graham Thorpe's 6th boundary.
And you look at these young men there and you look at their faces, you can see the concentration out there. They're pretty determined. Not too much laughing and joking. Serious business is Test cricket.
It's a lovely shot. Nasser Hussain, he plays with an open face of the bat, so he can get offside more fluently than most, and when the ball's in the slot, nobody better placed to take advantage.
As he bowled a left arm over, but you can see the face open there. Lovely timing. And he has looked a good player of spinners, as Hussain.
He latches onto those so quickly. There's control in that because it was played down, it went square.
Yes, I think that was short. It wasn't a bouncer, banged in bouncer, it was just short, and you could tell by the way they played it wasn't a bouncer, just pulled away to square leg. Magical figure of 300 on now for England. That's the figure they were looking for at the start of the day.
Well, steered away. It's the 50 partnership.
And that's tremendous for these two young men going this match together. 50 partnership. Just what English cricket required.
One more run added to take it up to 362 for 6 at the close of play. A great performance from Graham Gooch, a wonderful 100 from him. One of the best he's ever played, certainly one of the best I've seen from him. 88 not out to Graham Thorpe. Great effort, just 12 away from 100, and that might have an influence on when Graham Gooch declares in the morning. Nasser Hussain 16, good 50 partnership between those two, and the bowling figures for Australia: Hughes 2 for 41, still injured, 1 for 77 for Julian, and 3 for 93 from 47 overs, and 21 maidens for Shane Warne. A situation at the close of play at the 4th day, England 310 runs ahead. That is a terrific effort when you think that they started at 122 for 4. We'll hear with their thoughts about the day, Ian Chappell and Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, Graham Gooch announced that if England lost this test match at Trent Bridge, that he would resign the captaincy. He's reacted brilliantly to the pressure and playing a marvellous innings.
Well, perhaps he should put himself under pressure all the time, and he'll get more and more hundreds for England, because it was a terrific performance. If he had got out this morning, I think England would have lost the game.
Yeah. And he got terrific support from Graham Thorpe. Good effort from him.
Wonderful performance from the youngster. The tricky part now for Graham Gooch is to decide when he's going to declare. I think he'd like to have declared tonight, but I don't think he will. I think he'll have another half an hour tomorrow, or 20 minutes.
All right, I've got a little puzzle for you. Merv Hughes is injured. Craig McDermott's gone home. Now, if Martin McCaig hadn't played in this test match, Merv Hughes injured, let's say he can't play in the next one, the Australians might have called for Martin McCaig. Do you reckon he might have gone a game too early for England?
Yes, but we've got him. And the Australians are going to get him tomorrow. You wait and see.
So you actually reckon he'll declare and have a dash at Australia, do you?
I do, and if you lose a couple of wickets early, you've never been put under pressure yet. You're 2-0 up, but pressure's a funny thing.
Good to see Geoffrey living in hope.
And there'll be 20 million other English cricket followers feeling the same way tomorrow as England set out to defeat Australia in this third Cornhill Test at Trent Bridge. Great day today, great performance by England. Gooch absolutely magnificent, and so too Thorpe. Coverage will continue on the final day of this test, and we join play in the second over. He's taking strike, 2 runs have been added, and Brendan Julian is the bowler. At least 2 there, and it may even run down to the boundary there. That's the far side of the ground. Very ordinary, not the shot. The shot was terrific, but very ordinary bowling. Well, he's got it with a bounce. The fielder came in, thought for a moment he might be able to catch it, changed his mind, and the bounce took Graham Thorpe to a century in his debut test. Joins a very select band of cricketers to do that. And it's a good innings. Nice to see for a young player who did so well in those one-dayers. Nice to see him play in those and do well, and then come here and play such a good knock.
This is a shot with the hook. Got slightly high, went reasonably up, and Slater come in trying to make the catch. Stopped when he couldn't, but the bounce then did him. A bit short there, doesn't really matter. I'm saying just whips that away without any trouble at all. The one thing the leg spinner's got to do is to bowl a very full length into that rut, not a bit short.
3:47 ahead now, England. Perhaps 360 might be going through Graham Gooch's mind. .400 up for England. That's a terrific performance. When you think that yesterday morning we were talking about how long Caddick might stay with Gooch, or if Gooch lost his wicket, how that might be the turning point of the game. And here we are 24 hours later, thinking in terms of a declaration. That's a good shot. Got that very fine.
And there's no doubt about it. Hussein's played the spinners very well in this match. Had to come in at awkward times, both times, and his technique's been very, very good against the spinners.
Lovely square drive. He seems to favour square of the wicket when driving. Goes off his pads very well, and that was as typical a stroke as we've seen from Thorpe, just angling the bat away, and the ball flashes past point or just in front of it.
It's a no ball. What treatment he got. Players are looking, and finally that's it. That is the declaration. So England declare at 4:22 for 6, which gives them a lead of 370. Australia a target of 371 in what we reckon will be a minimum of around 77 or perhaps 78 overs. Graham Thorpe's morning. 100 on debut. There it is, 114. Over 5.5 hours, 11 fours. And Nasser Hussain has played his full part this morning.
4:22 for 6 at the declaration, 114 for Thorpe, a great effort from him. Good partnership with Hussain, and the bowling figures for the Australians. Hughes wasn't on the field today. That's a real problem for Alan Border. 2 for 41 his figures, a wicket for Julian, and 3 for Shane Warne. So the situation is Australia need 371 to win, and England need 10 wickets. They have 77 overs in which to bowl. We join it now in the first of those, the second ball, and McCaig is the bowler, Taylor taking strike.
Close, but not doing enough.
Well, from England's point of view, it's nice to see early on that Marty McKay is just making the ball swing a touch. This ball sets off outside off stump, just offers to come in, but doesn't do enough.
Oh, what a beauty. What an absolute beauty.
Well, he's only bowled 3 balls, Marty McKay, but they've been absolute beauties. Yorker that swung a touch, one just outside off stump, good line, and then a nice short ball, bouncing, lifting.
Michael Slater, his way to a memorable first series, halfway through it yet. Shots like that, which Jeffrey said, he's playing now in a different match situation, but he's still not afraid to go for his shots. 219 scored when Australia batted throughout the day without losing a wicket. That's close. No, says umpire Mayer. It's 2 that have been close. The first one not doing quite enough back to hit off stump. Now what about this one? Certainly pitched in line, has held up a little bit. It's hit him around the roll, He's not far back. In fact, just on the roll. What do you think, Geoffrey?
I think that was close. That's a good shout, is that?
Some fiery stuff. Australian openers are getting peppered. And Mark Taylor has decided to let the ball hit him rather than try to hit it. That was well directed. It's a nice shot. Runs away down there, and no field has made any impression throughout the match. So 4 good runs there for Slater. Australia at the end of the 4th over, a 16 for no wicket.
That's a terrific shot. So compact and so quick. I mean, reflexes were perfect and the minimum of movement.
Mark Islet needs to remember how he got his wickets in the first innings, and he did it with intelligent bowling. That's one reason why he doesn't want to overdo the short stuff. Michael Slater is a very good player of the horizontal bat shots. Islet is not quick enough to be consistently banging it in short. When he swung the ball a little bit and pushed it across the right-handers, he looked very good.
Yes, very firmly, clipped away, square on the onside.
Back in stroke. That's the fast side there. It does actually slope away, and the outer is like lightning on that side of the ground, which is the eastern side. Some good batting going on at the moment. There's a lot of bounce there early on with the new ball, which is natural. Very, very good shot. Wasn't a full swing of the bat, it was a short arm pull. So he's trying to pull the bat away from that.
Yes, he was definitely trying to withdraw the bat at the last second. Almost dragging it onto the stumps for doing that.
He's a very good cutter of the ball. Loves the late cut. You don't see all that many late cuts, particularly on a pitch that's a bit devoid of bounce and pace. All in. Beaten in the flight. I wonder if he just hit over it a bit, or did it spin between bat and pad? Looked as though there was a slight gap. But that's well bowled from Peter Such. First breakthrough for England, and just before lunch as well, 10 minutes to go. Number 3 batsman David Boon has to come out now, and that wouldn't have been plan A.
Now, there was some spin there, and that's the area I was talking about. It's on a good full length. Peter Such getting the ball to turn, as I said I thought it would do. Just unfortunately, England don't have 2 spin bowlers. It throws a lot of pressure onto Peter Such.
One more run added to take it up to 47 for 1 at lunch, and David Boon faced a very tricky 10 minutes there. He made the 1 run, and Taylor is on 19. Slater, the man, out for 26. And the situation, 324 more needed to win, but wickets are what England so desperately need. We join play after lunch in the 2nd over. 2 runs have been added. Peter Such is the bowler. Mark Taylor, the Australian vice-captain, is taking strike.
That was a beauty. That turned right out of the footholes. Fortunately for Mark Taylor, it was just a touch wide. He didn't quite have to play at it, but really jumped and turned.
Mark Taylor's fourth boundary. It's David Boone into double figures. That's what a 5-day test pitch looks like on the final day. Got to go. It didn't get it right off the middle. Normally David Boone's onto those like a flash, and it's 4 runs.
If on a couple of balls in the over he can go wide of the crease and try and hit those patches from a wide angle and get Mark Taylor to play at it, he has a good chance of spinning it and getting him out. Those dark patches on the left. Yes, Peter Such can't hit all these patches. He can only aim at the edges, because if he gets too wide, but just on the edges here of those patches, and get Mark Taylor to play at him. If pitches wider here, then Taylor will leave them alone.
And got him. He's exactly as predicted. And Mark Taylor goes, and suddenly the game comes alive. Taylor goes for 28. High fives involving Geoffrey Boycott for correct prediction. 74 for 2.
See, that's hitting on the edge of the patch there, and he was always going to be in difficulty, was Mark Taylor.
Brings to the wicket Mark Waugh. He's due to come in next. And there he is. .74 for 2, and now the game is suddenly, well, it's alive again, and just a wicket or two, and they can always happen on any ground under any circumstances. And if it does, then suddenly the pressure will start to mount on the Australian dressing room.
Caddick's doing part of it there. Looked as though it might have been an inside edge from Mark Waugh, but Caddick has got through. And the Australians now 75 for 3. Drama at Trent Bridge.
Yes, definite inside edge there. And I suppose Caddick deserves that. He went past the bat so often in the first innings, didn't get anything for it. And there he's got the inside edge. So there's always more benefit from the inside edge, the ball nipping back. Ball it the other way, everybody plays and misses. And it's a vital wicket. So pressure now on Australia. First time in this series. And they've got the backs to the wall, and England's have the tail up. Can they do it now?
With the border.
That, yes, the wind is very strong now. 40 mile an hour gusts, we can tell you. That's our radio link with the wind speed indicator up there as well. Got him. Well bowled. Paddock has done it again. Porter was trying to get the bat out of the way and succeeded only to the extent that I suspect we'll see the ball ran off the face of the bat. Paddock, 2 wickets. Australia, 81 for 4.
Yes, I'd say that just about middle that. Good catch. Thorpe having a good match here as well. But delight there for Caddick. He hasn't had much luck this series and things haven't gone for him, but well, he might get them all in one bagful here. He's the type of bowler that when he gets on top and things go for him, he can be devastating. And well, he should be on top now and really going.
Intriguing situation. There are 36 overs to go, plus 15 from the start of the last hour. Ball certainly swinging.
Oh, that's a fine delivery. That's how he bowled at Shane Warne when he played a miss so often. He seems to have got the action of following through better. The wrist action's smoother now as well.
Oh, what a ball. But useful. Moving away late. Oh, that's close. It's out. Yes, he's gone. David Boon has gone. Andrew Caddick gets an extra bit of bounce. Feeds David Boone's strong stroke, really, the square cut. But this time it was the top edge. Well caught by Stewart. The 5th wicket goes down for 93.
Yes, a bit of extra bounce there has brought David Boon undone. Just a little top edge. And Caddick having a really good day here at Trent Bridge as he puts his back into his work. David Boon gone for 18. And that really has opened the gate now for England, with Australia at 5 for 93.
And David Boone's great strength is always a square cut, but this time you can see the extra bounce just flies past the top edge, and Alex Stewart takes the catch. Ian Healy is the incoming batsman. That's 4 runs. It's very well played. The 100 comes up for Australia, 5 wickets down.
Dear me, well, not much profit in that shot.
Well, it's a good length ball, temptingly outside off stump, but he can't resist it, you see. He is a shot player.
Oh! Well, has he got this away swing again?
I think it's his line that's so good. His length, his line right down that corridor of off stump and just outside.
that's the tentative approach of Steve Waugh. Doesn't take much to move to get him into problems.
No, he virtually plays the line of the ball.
Oh. That's the area where you start to fancy, if you're an England player, you start to fancy you can get him. As well, and he's given him. Stands there, but has got to go. Ian Healy took a long time to think about that, Roy Palmer, and there's nothing wrong with an umpire doing that, to consider all the options and say would it or wouldn't it have hit, and that is tea, and what a difference that'll make in the two dressing rooms. And this is what happened. And there, that is quite straight. And Roy Palmer's thought about it.
That's a priceless wicket for England to pick up Healy there just before tea for 5 runs, 115 for 6, and a real struggle on for Australia there. Steve Waugh unbeaten on 22. And the bowling figures for England, Andrew Caddick right on top, 3 for 16 from 11 overs and 5 maidens, and McKay, Eilert and such also bowling very well. The state of the game at tea, Australia still need 256 to win. You can forget about that, but those 4 wickets are what England needs so desperately. We join them now in the second over with 6 added. Eilert is the bowler, and Brendan Julian is taking strike. There's one-handed. That's a little sign of nerves. It's got 4 runs for it. But it was a full, free-flowing stroke. Really call that drop catch. It hit the fielder rather than him managing to get his hands to that.
Real anxious Keith Fletcher there. You know, was so near to getting back into this series.
Big shout there, and Julian sends back Steve Waugh, who was rather keen to pinch a leg by. He's just getting the ball to straighten now and again, Mark Eilert. Oh, that must be close. And Steve Waugh had mortification to look down to see Barry Mayer take a hand out of her pocket and flip a coin from one hand to the other. Going down leg side, must have been the adjudication. There'll be 4 runs. There are plenty of runs available. A lot of close fielders, huge gaps in the outfield. Get a bat on the ball and you've got a very good chance of picking up 4, as Julian does here. He likes batting, doesn't he? Put some decent bat to ball out there. Good shot, over-pitched, and nice little bit of room outside off stump. Oh dear, that poor fella had a nasty bang then. When you feel behind the rope, you must expect the ball to hop up. It is Bob a job week to how to help.
What's your problem, mate? Oh, I played too many games in the field without my helmet on.
Four more. There's no third man, there are no deep fielders, and this is why Brendan Julian suddenly is overtaking his partner. 36 not out. Ooh, that was close.
That's a much better length. Julian has been getting well forward and been able to cover the swing.
It's just a long half volley. And Brendan Julian can certainly play those. And there's a great absence of the helpful fielder there down in his corner.
Once again, with not much drift or any loop there, Brendan Julian, with that long reach of his, is able to get to the half volley easily.
All England can do is keep persevering and pushing and trying. That's the different angle, and then if you hold one up, that's the Wasim Akram specialty, that ball.
What a delivery this. Look at it. Come in with the arm, pitch and go like a leg break. Now then, if he can watch this tonight on the highlights and he can bowl those regularly, he wants to start bowling those to top-class batsmen, never mind Brendan Julian, and he'll get a bucket full of wickets like Wasim Akram.
That's broken a run drought for Steve Waugh. Before that, he'd faced 48 deliveries since tea, only 3 scoring shots and a couple of 2s and a 1, and he hadn't scored for an hour. But really, that's just to illustrate his determination that he's going to be there at the end if he can. Wow, what a shot that is when you're trying to save the game. Jeffrey, talk me through that one. That's 50 as well.
Well, his colleagues in the Australian dressing room are saying, what a wonderful shot, but he hit it. I don't think they've been clapping or applauding if it had gone straight up in the air like Mark Ward did in the first innings and he'd hold out. It might look as if Australia are doing pretty well, and these two have done well, but for England, they'll be thinking it only takes 4 balls. Got to keep thinking positively. I think most of them will. 4 balls, and it's all over.
Oh, didn't carry. Didn't carry. Nearest England have got in the last, 45 minutes. Genuine outside edge.
Well, the nice change of bowling by the captain nearly brought a wicket. It just drifted away, Martin McKay. He's tended to do that throughout the Test match. Just teasingly outside off stump and just drifting towards the slips, off the seam.
An orthodox outside edge, carrying there in front and slightly to the right of Graham Thorpe and pitching about a yard in front of him. Start of the over, 8 overs to go. Huge shout down leg side, but umpire Palmer says no. Everybody went up for that. And just have a look at that. Nothing visible there.
Just another shot of that appeal. It just caught the thigh or just above the pad and went down the leg side to Alex Stewart.
Well, England have had 2 marvellous last days, but you've also got to give credit to the Australians. They've fought it out today, and they were in a lot of trouble when that 6th wicket went down, but these 2 in particular have got their heads down, and it'll do them a lot of good, and Julian in particular.
Nature of the game says that you never give up, and if you're batting, don't take anything for granted. 1 wicket followed by another quick one, and still be an exciting couple of overs, but the odds are against that. The Australians looking in command. I'm sure Steve Waugh would have ever forgiven himself if he'd got a touch to that.
That's an unbelievable shot, really, at this stage of the game. A man with Steve Waugh's experience.
It's the last ball of the second last over coming up now. And one more over. Australians negotiate that. It will be a draw. And they'll then go to Headingley for the fourth test match, 2 up in the series. Well, they are coming off the field now with 1 over remaining. There's a lot of handshaking going on out there. And why would a team want to come off the field with 1 over remaining and 4 wickets to be taken? I know it's most unlikely that they would take 4 wickets, but you just never know.
Ken Cranston wants to, I believe, in the test match. 4 in 4 and 4 in 3 or something.
Why would you want to come off with 1 over to go? Why not stay on for another 5 minutes and bowl the extra over? Quite extraordinary to come off then, but that's the final score for the Australians, 202 for 6. Steve Waugh, terrific innings from him. He held things together, 47 not out and 56 not out to Brendan Julian. The bowling figures in the end for England, they didn't advance on the wickets in the column on the right. Caddick was the best of them, 3 for 32 from 16 overs and 6 maidens. And at the close of play, when the players came off the field, 202 for 6 the figure, Caddick 3 for 32, Julian unbeaten, terrific effort from him, and Australia lead the series 2-0, and the man of the match was Graham Thorpe.
We've competed in this match, which we're pleased about, and it's like England to play, really. And now we had the Australians under pressure this afternoon, and I think we was hoping to get an early wicket after tea, which maybe have changed the result. But credit to the 2 Australian batsmen, they fought well and saw out the last session.
Yeah, it was a good match. You fitted perfectly well into the middle order.
Yeah, well, you know, you put your feet up for 5 minutes, so hopefully that'll be able to continue. But I was pleased with the way some of our guys bowled. I thought they had a bit of penetration, they swung the ball around, and let's be fair, it looked a different game.
Alan, it was a different game, wasn't it?
Well, as Graham said, England far more competitive in this match. It was an absolute belt of a wicket, and you know, full credit to the English bowlers. They really stuck their task well. Once we bowling them out the first day and a bit for 320, I thought we were, you know, in a really good position, because I thought we'd rack up a big score on the wicket the way it was playing. But as Graham said, they swung the ball around, kept us under a bit of pressure, and with the batting yesterday, especially from these two, and you saw what can happen when you've got a bat under pressure yourself. So it's the first time in the series to date where, you know, we had probably a real pressurised test match.
Yeah, terrific day's cricket today. Graham, can I say congratulations? This test cricket's quite an easy game, isn't it?
Well, it was very enjoyable. Enjoyed it, and you know, unfortunately we didn't win.
Yeah, but to get a century in your first test, that's quite something.
Yeah, dream come true. I couldn't believe it. Still can't really.
Yes, Graham Thorpe has joined a select band of players who've made a century on debut, and a great performance it was from him as well. Here now is Ian Chappell, and alongside him is Geoffrey Boycott.
Well, Ian, 6 wickets down at tea, we had you, didn't we? And we let you off again.
Well, you talked, I think, at Manchester about giving the Kangaroos' tail a bit of a tweak. Finally, they felt it. And, yes, certainly they felt it today, but a young man with a very good temperament, Brendan Julian, he seems to have a smile on his face all the time. And I suppose when you can hit 6s to bring up your first 50, you can afford to have a smile on your face.
I can't help thinking, though, that we let you off the hook. We could have declared a little bit earlier. Overnight, a few more runs yesterday, declared overnight, give yourself a little bit more time, would have helped.
Yes, I think that happens when you've been losing test matches. You get a little bit overcautious and you almost can't believe that you're in this position. And perhaps Graham Gooch would be thinking tonight that, yes, I should have declared a bit earlier and just poke the Australians in the chest a little bit harder.
Right, well, let's think on a positive note. Leeds to come, though, next. Not too good for Australia, that.
Some funny things happen up your way, Geoffrey.
Lovely pitch at Headingley, isn't it? Anything can happen.
What, have you got the fusarium out again, have you?
We've got a groundsman who prepared a pitch for Yorkshire and England.
So what can the Australians expect at Headingley, you reckon?
It'll have snakes in it, do all kinds of things. Seam, we've beaten Pakistan there, we've beaten West Indies there. Now for the Aussies.
Australians are used to snakes, though, Geoffrey.
That match will be played at Headingley. Bear in mind the Australians won up there in 1989, but they have had problems in other years. That is on the 22nd of July to the 26th, and that'll be live.